39 years here at 10 News, and during that time, Bill Griffith has been able to use the power of television to make a big impact on people's lives.
No question. And today, as he prepares to retire, Bill shows us two examples from the 80s.
Yeah, the first one involves a Vietnamese family which was separated for 6 years by the war. When South Vietnam fell to the communists, a sailor named Sin Nguyen was training right here in San Diego.
Suddenly finding himself a civilian trapped in San Diego and separated from his family, Sin spent 5 years trying to get his wife and young sons out of Vietnam. They finally got as far as a Philippine refugee camp, and there they sat for a year waiting for visas. Sin came to me for help, and after 6 weeks on the phone pressuring the consulate in Manila and a local congressman in D.C., we eventually reunited the Nguyen's at Lindbergh Field. The story has a bittersweet ending, though. Sin and Tin had a daughter, and today Tin and all 3 children are doing well. But Sin Nguyen passed away last year. I was privileged to attend his funeral. I'll miss him. 3 years later, I was asked to help a young girl named Sylvia Oliveira, who lived at a missionary school for the deaf in Baja. Sylvia couldn't hear, but even more, she desperately needed heart surgery. But her American sponsors, Diane and Bob Rickert, needed $10,000 to pay for it. I aired their plea, and a viewer named Giovanni Ronzi and his wife Fernanda donated the full amount in cash in our newsroom. Ronzi even got involved with Sylvia's plight, waiting at Lindbergh Field to meet her when Sky 10 brought her here for the operation, reaffirming what he'd done.
I think it's maybe the best thing I've done. I'm real happy for her, and I hope everything goes good in the operation.
And he was in the waiting room with Rickards, while UCSD surgeons who donated their services worked to save Sylvia's life. And within a couple of weeks, Sylvia was healthy enough to fly home in Sky 10 back to Baja. Her father, Margarito, hadn't seen his daughter in 6 months, but he followed her story in the Ensenada papers and traveled to the school to welcome her home. Sylvia's heart was beating. Ours were soaring.
Over the years, Sylvia moved, of course, back home and lost contact with her American friends. But I reached out to Giovanni Ronzi and actually talked to him yesterday. He's in Mexico City. He owns a big business there. And he told me something I never knew. The money he gave us was the last he and his wife had. They were penniless and moved back to Mexico after that. But the next business he opened in Mexico earned him enough money to get that $10,000 back and more. And he paid all the debts he had before that.
What goes around comes around.
Exactly right.
And to be able to relive these stories you maybe haven't thought about in a couple of years, just to go down memory lane again.
It's really great to touch base with these folks again. I haven't talked to in 30 years, too.
All right, Bill, thank you very much.
Story.